Imagine like this rich blue fabric.
Yeah.
And deep purple, scarlet,
Oh, yeah.
all woven together with real gold thread. And then on top of all that, you've got these sparkling, precious stones.
Okay.
We're talking about some really special clothing.
Right.
Clothes made for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
With like really deep meaning.
Yeah, and what's so cool is that we have this incredibly detailed description of how these clothes were made.
Yeah.
It's like a step-by-step guide from the source itself. Exodus chapter 39.
Right. Exodus 39. That's what we're looking at today.
Yeah.
Now, I got to say, when you first read this passage, it's like super detailed descriptions of every little thing.
Yeah, it's like a fabric store exploder.
All the materials, the construction.
Yeah.
You can get kind of lost in the weeds.
Right.
But that's why we're here.
Totally.
To guide you through all that and find the really interesting stuff.
The juicy bit.
Exactly. You want to understand the why behind all the what.
The meaning.
Right. What was the purpose of all this fancy clothing?
Exactly. And it's not just about the fashion, We're talking about a visual language that's communicating spiritual truths. And, Exodus 39 focuses specifically on making these sacred garments for Aaron, the high priest, and his sons.
Okay.
Right? And also it covers the completion of the whole tabernacle.
The whole shebang?
The whole thing, yeah.
Okay, so first up, the ephod.
Yeah.
This was not your average shirt.
Not at all.
It was made of gold.
Gold.
There's amazing blue, purple, scarlet yarns, fine linen.
Yeah.
And the text says, work of skilled hands.
Yes.
So, it wasn't just slapped together. This was like high-end fashion.
Divine couture.
Yeah, but with like divine instruction.
Right, exactly. And that phrase, work of skilled hands, it really emphasizes the artistry and the dedication that went into making these items. Yeah.
It wasn't just about function.
Right.
It was about beauty and excellence.
Okay.
And then the materials themselves.
Like the gold.
The gold, yeah, often associated with royalty and purity.
Yeah.
The vibrant colors probably had symbolic meaning in their culture.
Okay.
So every element was chosen very carefully.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder if the gold woven throughout could symbolize divine authority.
Oh, interesting.
Permeating the priesthood.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. And then it had these shoulder pieces, like straps almost.
Kind of like overalls, yeah.
Yeah, but the coolest part for me were those onyx stones.
Oh, yeah.
Set in gold.
They're beautiful.
They weren't just decoration.
No.
Each one was engraved with the name of one of the sons of Israel.
Right.
The text even calls them memorial stones.
Wow.
It's like carrying the weight of a whole nation.
Really powerful imagery, yeah.
Yeah.
These stones on his shoulders representing the 12 tribes before God.
It's like he's bearing the community's burdens.
Okay.
Their hopes and their needs.
Interesting.
And the engraving, like a seal, underscores the significance and permanence. It's like an official decree set in stone.
Okay, next up, the breastpiece.
Oh.
This one's even more elaborate.
It's amazing.
Same materials, skilled craftsmen again, but it was square, folded in half.
They make a pouch.
Yeah, like a pouch. And here's a really interesting part.
Yeah.
It had 4 rows of precious stones.
Wow.
12 in total.
12.
That's a lot of bling.
And each one is listed.
Yeah.
Carnelian chrysolite beryl.
Okay.
Turquoise lapis, lazuli emerald. Jacinth agate amethyst.
Wow.
And then topaz onyx and jasper.
They really went all out.
They did.
12 stones.
12 stones.
Just like the 12 tribes represented on the ephod's shoulders.
Right. And I wonder if the order of the stones or the specific types had some deeper meaning.
That we don't know about anymore.
Right. We can only speculate.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating to think about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And just like the onyx stones on the ephod,
yeah,
these 12 stones were also engraved.
Each one with the name of a tribe.
Again, like a seal.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it's like double emphasizing the people worn on the shoulders and over the heart.
Exactly. And the way the breastpiece was connected to the ephod was really interesting.
Yeah.
Braided chains of pure gold.
Wow.
Gold settings for the stones, rings.
Okay.
And then it was fastened to the ephod with a blue cord.
To keep it secure?
Yes, right over the heart.
Okay.
So this close connection, probably symbolized the relationship between the priest and the people that he represented before God.
All right, let's move on to the robe of the ephod.
Okay.
This one's a little different.
It is.
Made entirely of blue cloth.
Woven blue cloth.
And it had this reinforced collar, so it wouldn't tear.
That's practical.
Yeah, for an active guy.
Yeah, he's moving around.
But the hem was the coolest part.
Oh, yeah, the hem.
Pomegranate. What a combo.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So it wasn't just plain blue.
No.
You had this pattern.
Alternating.
Pomegranates made of blue, purple, scarlet yarns, and fine linen.
Wow.
And then bells of pure gold.
Yeah, and the text says this robe was worn specifically for ministry.
Oh, so not just for show.
Not just ceremonial.
Yeah, it had a real function.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing this, the high priest moving around the sanctuary, and you hear this constant tinkling of bells.
Yeah, it's almost like...
You can almost hear it.
It's like a soundtrack.
Yeah, and you've got the rich colors and textures,
right.
and then that delicate sound.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of atmosphere that created.
It must have been something else.
It must have been.
Yeah.
And the pomegranates, often associated with abundance.
And fertility. Paired with the sound of the bells.
Yeah.
It could have served multiple purposes.
Like what?
Well, maybe the sound signaled that he was actively engaged in the service, or even maybe it warded off evil.
Okay, now let's talk about the garments for Aaron and his sons.
Okay.
These seem simpler.
Simpler, yeah.
Made of fine linen.
Linen.
Tunics.
Yeah.
A turban for Aaron. Caps for his sons.
Right.
Undergarments.
All linen?
Yeah, all linen.
So these linen garments, they still had significance. They probably symbolize purity and consecration for their priestly duties. And the fact that they were all wearing linen, except for Aaron's turban, might have emphasized their shared role and their responsibilities as priests.
But even in these simpler garments,
yes,
there were some important details, like the sash.
Oh, yeah, the sash.
Maybe that fine linen. And the same blue, purple, and scarlet yarn.
Yeah, those colors again.
Yeah, and it says it was the work of an embroiderer.
Yeah.
So even the basic stuff was made with care and artistry.
Right.
And those colors again.
It's a theme.
Yeah, it's like nothing was accidental.
Exactly, that consistent use of materials and the craftsmanship. It really shows the intentionality behind every piece.
Boy.
It's like a divinely ordained aesthetic.
Wow.
Even the smallest details were important, and they contributed to the overall sanctity.
And then there's the sacred emblem.
Okay.
This plate of pure gold.
Pure gold.
Engraved with "Holy to the Lord."
Wow.
Like a seal.
Yeah, that's a pretty clear statement.
Yeah, no ambiguity there.
All right, it's a reminder of dedication.
Yeah, like this is serious business.
Exactly, and it was worn on the front of the turban, secured with a blue cord.
Okay.
So this emblem, it was a visual declaration of the high priest's role.
Okay.
His connection to the divine.
Yeah.
He was set apart for holy service, and his responsibilities were sacred.
So everything's made.
Right.
And now it's inspection time.
Yeah, the big reveal.
They brought all the parts of the tabernacle to Moses.
Everything.
The tent, furnishings, the Ark of the Covenant, the lampstand.
Like altars.
Even the basin for washing.
For the courtyard curtains.
Of course.
The priestly garments.
Yeah, all those fancy clothes we've been talking about.
The whole ensemble.
And Moses checked everything.
Meticulously.
Like really carefully.
He wanted to make sure it was all done according to the Lord's instruction.
Right, exactly, as commanded.
And then he blessed the people.
Oh, wow.
So it's really emphasizing the importance of obedience and fulfilling divine directives.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing. All that detail, all those specific materials, the colors.
The construction techniques.
Stones.
What does it all mean?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, was it just about looks?
I don't think so.
Or was there something deeper going on?
I think there was definitely something deeper. All that detail. It tells us these garments were more than just clothes.
Okay.
They were crucial for the priestly service and for their relationship with God. The colors and materials probably had symbolic meanings that were deeply understood in their culture. And the precious stones representing each tribe.
Yeah.
That emphasizes the high priest's role as a mediator.
Yeah.
And a representative for the whole community.
Okay. Now, what can we take away from all this?
I think it shows us the importance of intentionality and symbolism.
In worship and service.
Yeah, in this context, Every element, no matter how small,
carried meaning.
Right.
And it all contributed to the spiritual impact. It also makes us think about divine instructions and the responsibility to carry them out with care and precision.
Okay, so let's recap.
Yes.
We've looked at the creation of these priestly garments, as described in Exodus 39.
Right.
We've talked about the materials.
The gold.
Blue, purple, and scarlet yarns.
Got stones.
Yeah. And their possible symbolic meanings.
It's fascinating.
And we've seen how important it was to follow the instructions and using highly skilled craftsmanship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This account gives us a glimpse into a world where clothing worn during sacred service was full of spiritual meaning.
Okay.
And where attention to detail was an act of reverence.
But here's a final thought for you, our listener.
Okay.
What can we learn from this today? Beyond the historical and religious context, what does this meticulous creation?
Tell us about human intentions, about reverence, about the importance of detail.
In anything we do.
In our own lives?
Yeah, in our own lives.
Yeah.
What are the garments we create?
Ooh, I like that.
That have deep meaning for us? What do we pour our hearts and souls into?
Yeah.
What deserves our meticulous attention?
That's a great question.
Something to think about.
Something to ponder.
Yeah. Long after this deep dive is over.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.